Okay, back here again. Gonna continue our story. First, let's take care of some business. They're telling me, everybody, please comment, like, share, say something. Even if you're like, hey, I know that guy who used to umpire my games. Man, he sure is loud. Or that used to be my coach. Man, he sure is loud and he was mean. Or I know that guy. He worked on my computer. I work with him. Or something like that. Or, I played cornhole with that guy. He sure is a major a-hole. Something like that. It's fine. They're saying comment, share, keep it going. They want to get more traction. But as far as the thing, so I left it to be continued. I just got the port put in my chest, so I have this port sticking out like a washing machine, red and blue, and they go in it, which it causes more pressure on the organs and the heart for dialysis than just going through the arm at the time. Over time, and it's only supposed to be temporary until they get the surgeries, and we'll talk about the surgeries they did on the arm later on, because it'll come up pretty soon as more things will happen in my crazy journey that I've been through. So I'm going through this. I'm have some of those surgeries that we'll talk about later in the arm, getting ready for that and sticking. And like I said, the great crew at the dialysis clinic is there. And Monday night, a couple months I've been doing this, a Monday night comes rolling around, and my wife makes a sandwich, and it was really good. But then I start like getting this little like sensation, and I'm like, man, I must have some heartburn or something, and I don't really have heartburn. But I'm like, okay. So it goes, well, I just it happens Monday night. I go to work Tuesday night. I work all day. Then Tuesday night I go and call two girls fast pitch games at Landrum. No, not Landrum, Tryon. At Tryon with my dad. I tell my dad, man, I'm not on the field because while I had that port in there, I couldn't call behind the plate because the pad would actually rub up against the port, the catheter. I call it a port, it's a catheter, whatever, that's in your chest. So I couldn't wear the pad. Well, so I'm there and I'm calling on the bases and I'm running. I'm like, Dad, like I got this really bad, like this is a bad taste in my mouth. Like, man, I gotta take something to get rid of this. And he's like, yeah. So we go through that whole night, Tuesday night, still feeling the same way. Wednesday morning, go into dialysis. One of my real close people, nurses there, was there. Christy, she's like, she's like a guru for sticking people. And I'm telling her, I'm like, man, I got this. And she's like, huh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, but they know how I am. They know I'm like trying to get this over with so I can hurry up and get to work. And I'm like trying to get to work and get it faster. So she calls Jenna, the great Jenna that we talked about on the last video. She calls her on the phone because she's on her way in or something. Tells her what's on. Well, Jenna gets on the phone and tells me, hey, look, I'll make you a deal. And her massive knowledge, her knowing me, she says, if you don't, I tell you what, how about we don't hook you up for dialysis? If you'll go, you can get to work earlier. If you'll go and you'll check yourself in at the emergency room and just tell them what's going on and tell them all this, they'll run you some tests and then you can go to work and you actually get there faster. And I'm like, hey, I'll do that. Well, I get there, I tell them what she said about, it's right here, blah, blah. They run this little test on me. They don't say nothing. They don't seem like they see anything. They said they're going to run some more. They get me back there. I called my wife. I told her, I said, hey, look, I stopped by here. They're just going to do some things, and then I'm coming to work. See you in a little bit. Well, next thing I know, after being there about an hour, they put me in this room, and the guy comes, and he tells me, well, you've suffered a heart attack, apparently on Monday night. And we see it. And we're going to go ahead and put you in emergency surgery and put 2 stents in your heart about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So I have to call my wife and tell her, well, it's kind of wrong. Going to be here a while. She freaks out, of course, because she's like, oh my God, you've had a heart attack. And I'm like, yeah, I had a heart attack. And it really doesn't hit me because, it's just another thing that I'm trying to not let anybody know that something's going on with me. And I'm just trying to keep it. But I have to tell somebody. So I call, I told you the new girl that we just hired at work, and I called her, and she's like, she didn't show emotion. She's really cool and all this stuff, but like she doesn't show emotion real well. And like she's just more laid back and, we have fun together and this and that and other. And I tell her, and she kind of got emotional, which in turn got me emotional. And then I got worried about it. And I'm like, whoa, Like, if she's worried about it, it must be pretty serious. And I'm like, I might need to check myself at the door here. But again, I'm trying to like push everything to the limits. As I know at this point, it's probably not the best idea, but they blew the stent. I'm trying to show the doctor that I can go home and be ready. So literally within the time I went in there, had the stent surgery, and the next day I was able to talk them out of letting me out of the hospital. I was only in there for 30 hours after having a heart attack in the hospital, and that way I could go to work the next day. You know, maybe not the best decisions, of course, for my life, but it's all about me trying to not push this on somebody else, to let somebody say, well, oh yeah, well, Chris can't do this because, you know, he had a heart attack, or he can't do this because he's in dialysis, or he can't do this. So I just want to show him that there's nothing slowing me down. I want to do even more than I was doing before all those things happened. Like, that's my mindset. And so I just keep trying to do that because I don't want anything to hold back, and I don't want people to know. And the only people that know were like really, really close to me. And so, you know, it was really rough, and I scared a lot of people when I had the heart attack, and I didn't even know. And it's going to cause me, as we go down the road, to have to dial things back and take some things away from me, which was really hard for me mentally. So like the umpiring and stuff like that was going to have to be taken away from me because the heart wasn't strong enough. And after the stent, you got to dial it back. You can't lift 15 pounds. Mentally, that really crushed me into where I was kind of lost mentally as I went through dialysis and everything, but I still wouldn't let nobody see it. And it was just really bad because, like I said, you got this, we got this new person at work, and like really clicking, working with her and doing stuff with her, and like, you know, becoming, you know, like we talked about the other lady, you know, she's like family. Like a lot of people at my work are like my family, and she's just even more so. And it was just like, now she's there with, you know, my wife, and this is where they're worried about me. They know everything's going on. So I got to even prove even more that nothing can slow me down. And that's my mindset. Whether it's right or wrong, that's my mindset. And so suffering that heart attack was big because it really started the emotion, not the emotional, but the mental breakdown that I was starting to have because I was losing all kinds of stuff that could keep me from hiding this from people, because that was holding me back. And I was starting to understand my physical limits. And it's the beginning of the downward spiral of me understanding that my physical limits were going down, and I didn't want to accept it no matter what. It's really hard. But anyway, so that was the big thing that was up next. There's more to come. Keep trying to continue this. I'm breaking it down in areas and this and that and other. Still, we're only like 4 months into dialysis at this point. We've been putting links on the page about how to donate. I'm doing this for my journey and for everybody who needs to donate in Jersey. So that link for donation, even if you don't put my name down, even if you just want to donate just to somebody in random, please do, because there are people out there who probably need it worse than me, or just as bad, that need these kidneys. And a living donor is the best way to do it. And so I beg, I'm asking, I want to help everyone who's in this situation, no matter the age or whatever. If they want a kidney, they should be able to get it just like me. They should be able to go for it just like me. Just doesn't matter. I want it more for the spending time with my family than I do for myself. Look, I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm happy with my life. If I go tomorrow, I know I love the good Lord. I know the good Lord loves me. I know I did everything possible with my family and my time here. I got no regrets. But I want more, and my family wants more. My girls want more. So that's the reason why I'm fighting for myself. But I'm also making this video to get the awareness out there for somebody else. Maybe they'll hear it. Maybe it's for them. Maybe it's for somebody. Maybe you'll want to donate and you don't put my name down and it helps somebody else. And that is good enough for me. So let's get this going. Let's fight for it. Whatever. I'm not doing the back end, even though I know I'm an IT guy. I'm not doing any of this. I'm posting it. I'm just making the videos because it's just too much for me to handle to do this, really. So I'm letting my daughter, my wife, my little brother. I'm letting them push it out and promote it, but they need help. Do whatever. I appreciate some of the others who've shared it. Hannah, that was beautiful what you wrote and what you did. And any time help like that is more than welcome. So I appreciate everybody. I'll make another one next week. Have a good one.